Welcome to JITT Talk. On today's episode, we'll introduce the JITT Group, the mother and daughter dynamic, and the heart behind the work. Let's get into it. Welcome to JITT Talks, a podcast where we have honest conversations about healing, growth, leadership, purpose, and becoming whole from the inside out.
We're so glad you're here with us. I'm Geneva Martin.
And I'm Samaje Boykins.
Today, we're starting at the beginning. Who we are, why we created the JITT Group, and why we believe healing, growth, and leadership belong in the same conversation.
Yeah, so on the first episode today, it's really an introduction, not a formal bio, not a list of credentials, just a real conversation about the heart behind the JITT Group. So before we talk about business, I want people to know you as a person. So who is Geneva?
Who is Geneva? I think people are often surprised by how simple I really am because people always overcomplicate me. I love quiet moments, especially in the mornings. I love time with my Bible, worship music, my journal. That's how I begin almost every day. It always reminds me, what matters before you, the kids, and in the world in general just start demanding my attention. I absolutely love being with my family. Some of my favorite moments is my safe space, my kitchen, and cooking with the grandkids, making them lunch every day.
Oh, your popcorn, your caramel popcorn, yeah,
whatever. Getting my hands dirty in the garden, or simply sitting around the table. And I'll trivia nights.
Yeah.
The kids love trivia nights, and we do that a few times a week, so that's always fun. And just those ordinary moments. Those are the moments I think are the richest part of my life. And one thing that you can probably attest to, I'm naturally curious. I'm a lifelong learner, whether it's neuroscience, leadership, theology, AI, or even trying a new recipe. I'm always asking questions and want to understand how everything works. I've been like that since I was a kid.
Right. Because what degree are you on?
Number 7.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not here nor there. And you can attest. You can attest to this. Seriously. I feel things deeply. When people hurt, I genuinely want to help people. And I've been like that forever. That's probably why doing this, advising and coaching, and even consulting became a natural fit for me. Especially in the times we live in now. I mean, I don't just want people to succeed. I want people to heal and to grow and to start believing in themselves again, and not just, basing their life on how many likes they get and people, everybody need to approve of you, who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that at this point in life that, if you have something worthwhile putting out in the world, especially in the time that we live in with social media and AI, if you put something out worthwhile and it's to help someone.
Yeah.
If you don't get any like at all, but if one person read that, that is the person that God intended that for.
Yeah.
And so it's serving its purpose, and don't base your life on that. And before, I don't want to go into a sub-sermon. So honestly, I laugh a lot. I think people sometimes expect me to be serious because of my career, but my inner circle will tell you, I enjoy good conversations. I love a good joke. I mean, I don't even mind laughing at myself from time to time. People also assume I'm always working. The truth is, I treasure my quiet moments. I mean, those moments that remind me that life isn't measured by how busy I am, sitting on my front porch, sitting on my patio. And at the end of the day, I hope people don't remember me because of my titles. I hope they remember me when I was there, for them, when I made them feel encouraged. And if someone met me 5 years from now, I hope they won't say she had an impressive career. I hope they'll say she made me feel like I mattered. She listened. She was there for me. She helped me to see possibilities I couldn't see in myself. And so to me, that's a life for me that I think is well lived. And so, Samaje, enough about me. So for you, Samaje, what would you want people to know about you as a person?
Well, I don't have probably that type of story, but yeah, I'm just pretty simple. I'm a mom of four wonderful children. And I think at the heart of me, I'm a teacher by trade.
Great teacher.
I think I love to teach and educate people, especially in well-being. I enjoy simple things, reading, and a lot of people don't know this, but I'm a gamer. I
Yeah,
love to
you are.
game. I love anime and having good family moments. I love good Sunday dinners, Sunday family game nights, things like that.
You can do a
I
lot.
just, yeah, I'm the free spirit. I love and people around me. I keep my circle a little tight because I can be introverted. I tend to enjoy quietness. I tend to enjoy, I'm an only child. So, well, I'm my mom's only child. So I was raised pretty much an only child. And so for the most part, I kind of stick to myself a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just enjoy life. So enough about who we are, I guess, personally. Was there a moment when you realized that this is what you were called to do or meant to be?
I don't think that there was one defining moment. Looking back, I can see, every season of my life was preparing me for this work. I've led teams, I've built organizations, and spent years in corporate leadership. But I've always walked through seasons of deep personal pain. I've endured domestic violence, grief, caregiving, burnout, naturally, and rebuilding my life on my own more than once. So I think those experiences are the experiences that changed me. They taught me that leadership wasn't about strategy or results, that it was more about people, about understanding that everyone you meet is carrying something you can't see.
Right.
And that's something I think that we overlook. And I think that's why we have so much road rage and all kinds of
Yeah.
craziness in the world, because we don't realize that everyone is carrying something.
Yeah.
And over the years, people naturally started coming to me for advice, not because I had the answers, but because they knew I'll listen without judging and helping them find their way forward. So eventually I realized that it was, you know, something more, it was more than something that I guess I enjoyed, that it was God's calling. It's pretty much my purpose. And I wanted to combine all those degrees in education and leadership
Mm-hmm.
into a life experience that help lead people to a place of wholeness.
Yeah.
And so I believe the best leaders don't simply change organization, they change lives. And if I can help someone become a healthier leader, a better parent, a stronger teammate, or simply a more authentic version of themselves, then I've done the work that truly matters. And, I want to look back and realize, God was preparing me for this long before I knew he was preparing me for this.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah. So back to you, Samaje. You started this business. Your work is in trauma informed and very centered, very people centered. What drew you towards helping people heal and move forward?
Kind of what you touched on about people carrying invisible wounds. I think so many people carry invisible wounds, and because they're functioning, they assume they're okay. So for me, working with people navigating grief, burnout, trauma, major life transitions, or feeling stuck, my goal isn't to give them all the answers or really any answer. It's just to really help them discover what's already in them, their
Exactly.
strength, their resilience.
Exactly.
And my hope is that, working with me, that they can become a new person, achieve those goals. That's what I love about coaching. And I think that's why I chose coaching over counseling, because my degree is in counseling. But
Yeah.
I chose coaching because I really want to work with people moving forward. I want to help you with, once you've addressed some of the things that has hindered you, I want to work with you on what do we do now? because after counseling, some people are just like, what do I do with my hands at this point? And so
Exactly.
I kind of just wanted to help people see what the future could look like and how to meet the goals that they feel might be unachievable.
Yeah.
I want to help them meet those things. So, yeah.
Okay. So I think you've pretty much answered my next question too. What problems were we really trying to solve with the JIT group?
Hmm.
But I'm going to ask this, and you can throw some of that in there too if you want. But
Yeah.
what do you think healing and growth? Why? Well, I'm sorry. Why do you think healing and growth can feel intimidating for people?
I think we all kind of struggle with help. You know, we live in a society right now where you see it's put in your face that people live this perfect life on social media when really people are only taking a snapshot of what they want you to see. But in order to get help, it requires us to be vulnerable.
Absolutely.
And most of us struggle with vulnerability
Oh, I know.
because how can I not look perfect, right? How can I not
Exactly.
be what the world is saying that I am? How
Exactly.
do I have these battles and these wounds inside that nobody else sees? So I think people struggle with just admitting that they're struggling.
Exactly. No, you're right.
But I would encourage people that the only way to get help is to acknowledge, what is there and what is going on so that you can get better, you know?
Exactly.
So while we're talking about that, excuse me, I know for me, starting the JIT group, I come from more of a life coach and people centered type of situation, and you're more so leadership.
Yeah.
So why did you feel that it was important when we were creating the JIT group? Why did you feel it was important to not only just have the personal aspect and transformation, but leadership development? Why did you want to bring that into the home?
Okay, so let's back up a little bit
Hmm.
because you started a JIT group even before I
I
came
did.
along. So this was your
I did.
baby.
I
This was your
did.
baby. And once I answered the calling that
Hmm.
God placed upon me and brought me to the season and the circumstances that brought me here, um, I prayed a lot about this, and I asked God, what can I bring to this when we discussed me coming to do this,
Yeah.
and I was fighting it every step of the way.
Oh, you were.
Yeah, I was, but God made me realize that leadership, uh, it was for a purpose.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I had to learn for myself that people don't separate. They don't separate who they are from how they lead.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things when I actually wrote my book, which we'll talk about next episode, that I learned even in the process of writing that book that my title had become my identity. And
Yeah.
so with that, bringing leadership development in, is because the one thing I realized once I found out that who I was beyond my title, that it helped me to lead better. It helped me to help develop people better. And it just helped me to, I had a bunch of unhealed pressure and grief and burnout and identity struggles.
Yeah.
And once I got past that, it helped me to communicate better, to make, better decisions, and it helped my relationships and build my confidence and self-awareness of who I was
Yeah.
beyond all of that.
All the
So
titles and credentials and degrees.
and
Yeah.
accolades, I mean, I can feel the attic with it, but I
Right.
mean, but to now know who I am, I want to help other leaders to transform and help transform their organizations and to use the talents that God has given me to do what I do.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So let's shift this a little bit. We are, a lot of people may not know. I mean, if we were on video or television, they could see that we're
Yeah.
mother and daughter. So we are a mother and daughter duo. And so what has it been like building a business with your mother?
It's been exciting. It's been a wonderful journey as far as learning who you are as Geneva over just the role of my mom,
Yep.
which is awkward to say your first name
It's
still.
all right.
But I think that's one of the things that I truly cherish is building a business with you and learning just how you operate and how you work and getting those tools. I mean, I get to see the gifts and talents that God has given you. And I mean, it's amazing still to see how you have worked past so many different seasons of your life and where you are now. So it's been pretty good.
Good. Good.
Yeah. What has it been like working with me, your daughter?
Woo! It has been something. It's been
Good
something.
times, good
And
times.
nothing but good times. Nothing but good times. Well, I mean, it has been. Initially, it was a little rough. I mean, you are out of all the bosses I've had in my life. I think you've been the toughest. You 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 are that Nike generation of let's do it. Just hey,
Yeah.
you come up with a thought idea. I don't know where you get them from, and you just like let's just do it, mom. Let's just
Yes.
do
Let's
that.
do it first and we'll
And
regret later.
no, I'm a planner, a strategist, and so for me, I think once we struck a balance
Right.
of let's do it, and then there were some times when I did need to move a little faster and just make a decision, but it had to be a calculated decision for me. But for me, working with you is has actually been wonderful because it has been more than just working with my daughter. For me, I see this as legacy.
Yeah.
This is not, just for you. It's for those four children and, nieces and nephews, generational. I mean, hopefully
Absolutely.
the JIT Group will help change lives and become, a household name to,
Mhm.
when people look and when they're out looking for help and looking, when they feel lost and to know that they have someplace to go, someplace to be. So it has been great. I mean, we've although we're different, you use an analogy in one of your magazine interviews where, you were saying we're like a house with different rooms, but all the rooms are necessary to live. So
Absolutely.
it's been
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I think the thing that has kept us balanced is that we both have the same heart and we both have a heart to serve people, right? And
Exactly.
I think with having the same heart and vision for that, I think it's helped us to get past whatever differences we do have because we know it's not about us at the end of the day.
Exactly.
The mission is about the people. And so it has been interesting and definitely being able to separate the roles that we are in each other's life
Yeah.
and we can have a business together and just having those really deep conversations about how we need to leave personal opinions and personal feelings in the home
Yeah.
and be Geneva and Samaje at work. I think we have managed to balance that out pretty well.
Yeah. And I think also with that balance, one thing that I like about the JIT Group, we have this generational gap, which is good.
Yeah.
You relate to a generation that I can relate to because I've led them, but at the same time to have those two different viewpoints on
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
I think that keep us balanced and
Mhm.
it keep me, from being too set in my ways, but then at the same time it sort of ring you in when I
Right.
feel okay, this, that's far enough.
Right.
So sometimes that
Right.
mother, she's got to come out. Mommy's
Yeah.
got to come out sometimes. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that I think we keep each other, balanced and I love it.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think that one thing that I would say outside of all that we've said already is that, we hope that our listeners will be able to really hear themselves in our stories because
Absolutely.
we're both while we both have the right credentials and all those things, we've also have lived experience. And because we are two different generations, we're able to speak to more than just one set of people. And I think
Exactly.
that's what makes us a little bit different is that we can reach out to multiple generations
Exactly.
and help the whole person, you know,
Exactly.
because there's some clients that work with both of us, in leadership on one aspect and then resilience with me or grief with me. And, you know, I know we've talked about how leaders work through grief. You've
Exactly.
experienced that before.
Absolutely. I've worked with
Um,
leaders
yeah,
through grief and trying to balance out, being a leader, and people see them so much so as a leader, and they can never come out of that persona
right. They
to
lose sight of the
deal.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because life happens. I mean, we as we age, our parents age, and
Yeah.
some of them become caregivers. Our children get sick. We face different things in life, but when you are a leader and you have to be present all the time and every day, it's hard to come out of that persona to come back home and to do what you have to do,
Yeah.
or even take time without feeling guilty to take care of a
Absolutely.
loved one. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that's one of the things that I think that working with leaders that I have enjoyed a lot, just helping them find that balance in life. And and I've worked with, men and women, but especially women though, and mothers. And you've worked with a lot of mothers,
Yeah.
but for me, at the executive level and the leadership level, and working with women who feel like they've lost their way because they're working all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I don't have time to cook anymore. I don't have time to take care of my house anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Wearing so many
constantly
hats.
work, and I still
Mm-hmm.
have a husband with demands. I still have children that need me, and
Yeah. Family, friends.
yeah,
Yeah. You're trying to be present and show up for everybody.
yeah,
And you end up kind of losing yourself in that. And I think that's what we hope listeners can get from
yeah,
this podcast, or even if you decide to go deeper and become a client, like we really do hope that people
absolutely.
learn from this. So yeah, what speaking of that, what do you expect, or hope that listeners can gain from this? What would you set the bar, I guess, for us?
Well, I would hope that they would see that we are, like you said earlier, we have live experience, and through across a lot of, we've I know for me, I have, decades of live experience. I've
Right.
gone through a lot. I mean, and I've like you were saying, being vulnerable. I have a memoir out there, and I'm the most
Yeah.
closed off person in the world. Used to be,
Right.
but when God called, I was able to share my story. So I want to help people learn how to feel safe being
Yeah.
vulnerable with themselves.
That's
I
important.
mean, everybody don't have to tell their story like that,
Absolutely.
but you need to tell yourself that story.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to know that the JIT Group is a safe place
Mm-hmm.
to tell your story and to get your story out, and to be able to heal and to
Yeah.
be able to move forward in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, some of our episodes are going to be, reflective. I think some may be more practical. Some may even challenge you.
Yeah,
But I think together, our hope is that in every episode, it gives you a language of encouragement and something that you can apply today.
yep. So, Samaje, before we close, I have a question for our listeners, and I want them to sit in it. And, please respond to us on social media. Go to our
Yeah.
website, thejitgroup.com. Go out
Mm-hmm.
there and ask us questions. We welcome them. But one thing I want you to sit in is, where in your life are you being invited to heal, to grow, or to even lead differently? I mean, just think about it. Just sit in it, think about it, and think about, have you become your title? Strip away everything else in your life, and
Yeah.
and sit down with yourself and think about who you are. Introduce you to yourself and see who you
Mm-hmm.
become.
Yeah. And, maybe the first step is not changing everything overnight. Maybe it's, just simply just, like you said, being honest with who you are, where you are, and maybe what you're looking to change.
Yep. So with that, I want to say thank you for joining us for the first episode of JIT Talks.
Yay.
Yeah.
If this conversation encouraged you, like my mom said, subscribe, share it, Join us on any of the social medias, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Share it with someone who needs it and let us know what you think. And join us next time.
But before we go, where can they find
Oh,
these
yeah. You
places?
can find us on any social media. It's the JITT Group.
And that's THEJITT Group.
Yes, that's correct.
And at the JIT Group, we believe transformation is a journey and it starts with intention.
Yep. So we'll see you next time.